Previously on the Smurfs of the Law, the fair was rocked by sabotage, and Brainy Smurf vowed to catch the culprit. With an all-night stakeout and unexpected chaos, the mystery deepened, but Papa Smurf has a clever trick up his sleeve. The hunt continues in Chapter 6. The two officers continue tracking the crystals, which lead them through bushes and toward the village. Brainy excitedly remarks that the trail leads directly back to the village. They reach a small stone bridge where one officer confidently announces the suspect must have crossed it. They prepare to capture the culprit as they press onward across the bridge. Suddenly, Brainy panics because the trail of crystals disappears, calling it a catastrophe. Hefty points out there might be clues nearby, encouraging him to check carefully. Brainy inspects closely and then proudly announces he has found traces leading toward a wooden door. They prepare to investigate further, hopeful the trail will lead to the saboteur's capture. Brainy excitedly points at the wooden door, announcing that the saboteur is hiding in the pantry. Hefty and him hide on wall next to the wooden door. Hefty asks if he should break the door open, and Brainy agrees, saying they will surprise the saboteur. Hefty kicks the pantry door open with force, shouting for everyone to freeze because they are being arrested. The doors swing wide, revealing the space inside. Inside the pantry, the officers spot a figure trying to escape through a window. Brainy shouts encouragement while the other dashes after the fleeing suspect. The chasing officer of law grabs the saboteur by the legs and declares that this time the culprit will pay for their crimes, eager to finally reveal their identity. To their shock, the captured Smurf is revealed to be the Smurf. The officers stare in surprise, questioning if it is really him. A group of other Smurfs gather around, expressing disbelief that the saboteur is the Smurf, commenting on how inconspicuous he seemed. The captured Smurf admits with frustration that he has grown tired of being so unnoticed, explaining that he wanted to stand out more despite his quiet nature. The captured Smurf is complaining that many other Smurfs like Grouchy, Greedy, and Dopey are popular, while he remains overlooked, especially compared to Lazy Smurf. Lazy Smurf reacts by asking for a little respect. He continues to express his sadness that no one pays attention to him or recognizes him individually, as everyone simply calls him Smurf without distinction. He then proudly lists his contributions, saying he is the one who brings lanterns for the parties, re-smurfs them afterward, and repairs them, yet nobody acknowledges these efforts. Other Smurfs in the crowd agree that he has done all these things, but they argue that calling him Smurf who brings the lanterns is too long of a name. He insists that everyone knows it's him because he deals with the fines, sweeping the shed, parking the cart, and transporting materials, always taking responsibility. Brainy is surprised and asks if it was really him who got all the fine, while Hefty comments it did not hit him. He mentions that some try to avoid the fines, including Smurfette, Chef Smurf, and even Papa Smurf. Another Smurf nods thoughtfully, and yet another agrees that the little ones are often left out. Papa Smurf calmly explains that the Smurf's frustration stems from feeling ignored except when punished, and that he misunderstood this treatment as unfairness, leading him to provoke the law-abiding Smurfs. The frustrated Smurf listens quietly to this reasoning. Other Smurfs express their disapproval, pointing out that sabotaging the fair was not a justified way to react, even though they too received fines. They emphasize that causing trouble is not an acceptable response to feeling neglected. Papa Smurf sternly tells the Smurf with lantern that he won't give him the sponge this time unless he promises to stop his troublesome behavior, to which the Smurf hesitantly agrees. Papa Smurf follows up by warning that as a punishment, the Smurf will be deprived of hazelnuts until winter arrives. Trying to shift the mood, Papa Smurf announces that there will be a ball and fireworks tomorrow and encourages everyone to enjoy themselves and have a good time. Two Smurf of law remind the troublesome Smurf to behave well, but he protests, not wanting to be labeled as frustrated Smurf. The next day, the village has calmed down, but Brainy Smurf spots the troublesome one acting suspiciously in the pantry, questioning what he is up to now. Brainy Smurf expresses distrust, noting that the other Smurf carrying lanterns does not inspire confidence, so he decides to keep a close watch on him. Suddenly, Brainy Smurf notices flames inside the pantry, alarmed by the unexpected fire. Realizing the danger, Brainy Smurf quickly rushes to take action, determined to stop the fire before it spreads. Suddenly several rockers fly out. He narrowly dodges a rocket that whistles past him, barely avoiding being hit as he scrambles to safety. He urgently calls out to alert the others that all the rockets have been launched, warning everyone to be ready for the chaos. Not far from there, Papa Smurf orders the Smurfs to fetch the water pumping cart and as many buckets as possible to prepare for fighting the fire. Explosions and colorful bursts erupt all around the mushroom house, with one Smurf admiring the display while another scolds him to stay focused. Finally, after the intense barrage, the explosions cease, and the Smurfs realize there are no more rockets left to worry about. The battle against the spreading flames begins in earnest, with Smurfs working tirelessly to douse the fire using hoses and buckets. By nightfall, the fire is finally under control, and firefighter Smurf reports to Papa Smurf that everything is extinguished. Papa Smurf surveys the damage and notes with concern that the pantry has been seriously affected, roughly half of it destroyed in the blaze. Papa Smurf questions how the fire started while two Smurfs listen intently, showing concern and confusion about the events that led to the destruction. Brainy Smurf accuses the Smurf with lanterns of causing the fire, but the accused Smurf vehemently denies any wrongdoing, insisting he is innocent. Brainy Smurf insists that after the accused left the pantry, the air stirred and flames appeared, while the accused maintains that he did nothing wrong and was simply heading home. Papa Smurf challenges the accused about possibly leaving a lit candle behind, but the accused denies it, pleading innocence to Papa Smurf as other Smurfs angrily call him a liar and an arsonist. Some angry Smurfs threaten to teach the accused a harsh lesson, showing their frustration and readiness to punish him for the fire. Papa Smurf steps in to calm everyone down, urging them to wait until tomorrow to discuss the matter further since it is late and everyone is tired. Despite Papa Smurf's calm words, some Smurfs worry that waiting might be too late if the accused causes more trouble. Papa Smurf declares that the accused must be detained as a suspect, ordering the Smurfs of the law to lock him up at home for the safety of the village. Several angry Smurf insists that the suspect must be imprisoned to prevent any escape while Smurf of law bring the Smurf lantern away. But Brainy Smurf points out that they don't have a prison anymore. Hefty listens carefully as a Smurf nearby claims to have an idea to solve the problem. The police Smurfs escort the accused Smurf to a small wooden outhouse, which they decide to use as a temporary prison. The accused protests loudly, shouting that this is a violation of his rights and demanding to be let out. Inside the tiny enclosure, the imprisoned Smurf bangs on the walls, declaring he can't stand being locked up and fears he'll develop an intense phobia from the confinement. Suddenly, the imprisoned Smurf is startled by a large spider descending nearby, causing him to scream in fright. His fear adds to the tension of his unwanted captivity. The little prison shakes slightly as the Smurf inside struggles against the confinement, his hands and feet pressing against the barred window. The small wooden outhouse continues to tremble. Suddenly some part of the outhouse lifts up. While the night remains quiet, with only the sounds of nature accompanying the scene, the outhouse starts tumbling over. Finally, the Smurf able to run away from the makeshift prison. The Smurf dashes through the village under the dim light, urgently thinking to himself that he must escape quickly from this place. While he is running, Smurfette peers out from her window and calls out in surprise, noticing the Smurf with lantern and asking if he is running away. The Smurf with lantern pleads with Smurfette, insisting he doesn't want to be locked up anymore and swearing to her that he is innocent. Smurfette responds with doubt but tells him to go to Papa Smurf for help, hoping that the leader will believe in his innocence. Meanwhile, two Smurfs of law are inside a hut, with Brainy the Hefty to bring food to the prisoner. When Hefty arrive, he see the outhouse has been tumbled down and find no prisoner Smurf around the area. Hefty Smurf starts shouting that the prisoner has escaped, alerting everyone nearby to the unexpected breakout. Hearing that, the Smurf with lantern quickly declares his need to leave immediately and plans to disappear into the woods to avoid capture. That's it for Chapter 6. If you're hooked on the mystery, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Chapter 7 is just ahead. Don't miss what the trail reveals next.